Hello, I would like to welcome you to my channel, Chat with Dr. J. Hopefully, everybody is having a fantastic Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Hopefully, everybody is having a terrific Tuesday. Hi there, and welcome, Z Adams. Thank you for joining us today. I actually tried to go live on my phone, but for some reason, I don't know what it is doing. I don't understand. So what I'm going to have to do is go back up there. I'm going to just shut my phone off. And I'll just have to go back later and try to see if I can go live up there again. But I tried earlier this morning and it wouldn't cooperate. And I just tried a few minutes ago and it still won't do right. But I'm going to try a little bit later. So if you see me up there going live again, I'm still trying to, I'm having technical difficulties with going live on my phone. But hopefully everybody's having a terrific Tuesday. Hopefully your day is going well. If it's not going well, hopefully it will get better. Or if it is going well, prayerfully it will continue to go well. So come right in if you don't mind. Just type it into the chat just so that I can see or acknowledge you. And thank you for coming in to the chat. I won't keep us long. I just have some more. Another update, I think that was just released. You all know if you've been on my channel, you can see that I put a post up there. No, I did a short congratulating and just saying appreciation because, of course, you know that this week is celebrated as Teacher or Educators Appreciation Week. So this article is in, it relates to that. And hopefully you all had a chance to view the live that I put up on yesterday. I had shared more information from President Trump about his orders, him ordering a plan to dismantle the Department of Education while keeping some core functions. And in a nutshell, just to give just a little bit background before I share the information for today, you know that he and his administration, they plan to dismantle the Department of Education because of its lagging performance. President Trump and his team, they do not feel like, I guess, the Department of Education being under the umbrella or the guidance of the federal government, it has not given out or produced these services that the president and his administration, I guess, were looking for. So they just pretty much feel as if it's a waste and it's not needed. It's a waste of money. But if you get an opportunity, if you have not, please go back and view the live that I did on yesterday. It was only about 30, 35, 40 minutes long. I titled it, President Trump Orders a Plan of Dismantle Education Department. And also, before I forget, if you don't mind, please smash that like button for me. Smash or double tap that screen. And if you have not hit the subscribe button, please do that as well. Like the video, please. If you don't mind. Let me ask this question too. Just a quick quiz, a pre-test really quick. Do you all know, and don't look up, don't cheat, just type it in if you know. Who or which administration created the Department of Education? If you will, one, when I count to 3, type it in the chat. Who, again, my question again is who? Which president and his administration, or which president created the Department of Education? Wait, on the count of 4, get your fingers on your keys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go. Which president created the Department of Education. If you know, type it in. If you don't know, just put an N there. And I will give you the answer later. I will give it to. Ooh, look at you. Look, I need to be giving out prizes. I need to be giving out prizes. I got a smarty here. Absolutely. You are absolutely correct. The former President Jimmy Carter created the Department of Education. All right. Dang, I wish I could give out a door prize. Well, yay. I need some clapping hands. Okay, let me ask you this. Who knows this one? Don't look it up. Don't look it up. And I'm going to count to 4 again. And then that's when you type. Okay. How long ago? How long ago? How many years? How many decades? On the count of 4. Jimmy Carter, the former President Jimmy Carter is correct. But 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4. Let's go. How many years? When did he do it? Who knows that answer? When did he do it? No answer on that? Well, that's okay. We'll talk about it. I'll share it later in a few minutes. But in my live yesterday, I also talked about some of the concerns that the parents had worried about their okay, you're not sure. That's okay. That's all right, because guess what? I didn't know either until I started researching. So some of the parents expressed concerns of what might happen to their students now, to their children now, uh, since what President Trump plans to do is not to turn the special education department, the special needs departments, over to the state. He plans to put that, or to hand that over to John F. Kennedy. John F. Kennedy would go underneath his guidance and his supervision, as I shared yesterday. Again, Trump, President Trump said that he's moving the special education department from the Department of Education, as I just stated, which he described as wasteful and insufficient, to the Department of Health and Human Services under the direction of John F. Kennedy. So that's just kind of like to kind of bridge it all together, the information that I shared yesterday and on to this that I'm doing today. I hope Essay is here or get a chance to listen. Here it is, an open book as well, because I know this is a discussion that came about later. But like I said, as this information, as I get hold of it or to it, I plan to bring it out and share it with you. But our title for today is going to be the mockery of the Secretary of Education by the senator. Senator, I'm sure you all, this name should be a household name, a name that we're all familiar with, because this person ran for president a couple of elections ago. Elizabeth Warren, Democratic over in Massachusetts. She ran for president some time ago. But anyway, Senator Elizabeth Warren found it as an absolute joke. Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon, message to the teacher. So Ms. Linda, our Secretary of Education, sent a message out to our teachers, thanking them. Like I said earlier, this week is set up as to acknowledge and show gratitude and thankfulness to our educators. And if you go back, if you haven't already done so, please go back and view. I put a short up on my channel, so if you go back, get a chance, go back and watch that. And my source was the Washington Examiner. So the Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon, drew the ire and intense anger of Senator Elizabeth Warren, as I said, which is a Democratic, a senator, for sharing a teacher appreciation message on social media. Monday was the beginning, as I stated, of Teacher Appreciation Week in the United States, during which students, as well as parents alike, are encouraged to give gifts of gratitude to teachers. So her statement was that she shared on social media, I think teaching is one of the most, and this is quote, I think teaching is one of the most noble professions, McMahon said in that video or that interview on social media. I'd just like to take a moment to say thank you to all of our teachers all over the country. Her post caption read, "Thank you for your devotion to educating the next generation." Very nice, very thought out. At least I think so. And I'm sure that the teachers appreciated that too. Let's see who we have. Hey, Mark. Hey, look. Oh, you caught her live. So glad that you stopped by. Just stopped by to say hello. Keep up the great work. I appreciate it. I'm trying. I'm trying to get where you are. Mark, I just this is something new for me. I've been up and moving. I think I started my channel the first week, maybe like April 4th, the 1st of April. So I'm still new, trying to grow it, trying to get it out off the ground, and just trying to feel my way through. It's coming along, but it's a lot. It's a lot, but we're making it happen. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, that's the information. I forgot what I was saying. Okay, and I shared the quote that she expressed to all of the teachers. Nothing says teacher appreciation like gutting. This is how Warren felt. Okay, you came and you gave this message of appreciation to all of the teacher, but your words, you say one thing with your mouth, but your action shows something else. So of course Warren wrote in response to that lovely speech that our Secretary of Education shared. She said, according to Warren, she stated, "Nothing says teacher appreciation like gutting," this is quote, "like gutting the Department of Education and firing half of the people that make the agency run." Now that's the response from our senator there. Okay, you're doing a great job. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying. Work in progress. It's a work in progress. There's a lot of researching and just come back and redeliver. I appreciate that. I appreciate, those butterflies. I try to get those butterflies. Try to get those butterflies, Mark, to fly in formation. That's the best I know how to tell it. Some days are better than others. It just depends, of course, on what the topic is about and the interest of it. But this mountain of the Department of Education, I have to dig a little bit deeper, because it's not the friendliest. So I've been kind of like, even before I brought it out, I had been researching and trying to study and find get the interpretation of it. Shucks, about a month or so, but 2 or 3 weeks before I even decided to bring it out. So, but I do appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for this support. Wow, that's a mouthful. You said it's a mouthful. What part are you talking about now? You should. Do we have any educators out here? You should have. Which are you referring to, Z Adams? The speech, the heartfelt speech of gratitude from your Secretary of Education, or the comeback, the written response from the senator? But anyway, Warren was referring to the education department. Keep in mind, she said, "Okay, you're saying all these beautiful words and thanking the teachers and all, but like I said, your words, you're saying one thing with your mouth, but your actions are showing something different." Warren was referring to the education department's laid off employees and the education funds that were transferred to the states. President Donald Trump made it clear that the department will still handle. These are the things that President Trump told me to relay to you, that the President Trump made it clear that the department will still handle the following. According to Trump, again, like I told you yesterday, he called me up like, "Hey, Dr. J, share this information with the people. They get it directly from you. You're getting it from me. Let the people know that the department will still handle Pell Grants for those of you with college students, and that those that can qualify for Pell Grants." He said to tell them that the department will still handle the Pell Grants, and let them know also, Dr. J, that the department will still handle the Title I funding. That's not going anywhere. The Title I funding will stay with the department, and the resources for children with disabilities and special needs. But I told the president, so he got to get back with me. I said, but President Trump, I just reported to the person, the people yesterday. I thought you told me that that would be turned over to the department that John F. Kennedy oversees. I said, well, maybe I misunderstood that, President. So the president is to double check those records. He's going to double check what he has, get back with his committee, and he's going to clear that. He's going to provide. I asked him to provide clarification to me about that, because last I spoke to the president, the last message he gave me to share with you all was that, and this is quote again, in his platform, Trump promised to close the department and send it back to the states again where it belongs. Trump had, hold on. That's not the right one. I was looking for my notes where hold on for a second. I want to make sure I give you the exact wording. I don't want to film on our president. I want to give you the exact words. Okay, let's see what you have here. See, Adam, the response from the senator. Okay, she was pretty candid with it. She was pretty candid, and I don't know no other way to put it. Because Senator Warren said, "Okay, you're saying this. You're giving this glowing speech here. You're saying that with your mouth, with your vocal cords." But look at what you're doing to our people. You're laying these people off. You're doing this. You're taking jobs. You're doing this. You're doing that. So Warren was kind of, she was kind of pretty candid with her response there. But as I was telling you, President Trump told me to tell you all that. But when I talked to him last, he told me to tell you this. He said that, well, last month, Trump said that he's moving special education from the Department of Education, which he described again as wasteful and insufficient, to the Department of Health and Human Services under the direction of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Okay, but keep in mind, he asked me to share with you all, he made it clear that the department will still handle what? Pell grants, Title I funding, and resources for children with disabilities and special needs. So I asked him, I said, now I'm a bit confused here. I don't want to have my people confused. So he's supposed to clarify that information for me. And as soon as he clarifies it for me, I will get it to you. Now, let me kind of like break this down. The information that I just shared is the reason why Z. Adams, Warren, had that tight response towards the the Secretary of Education message that she shared with the teachers. She said, of the Education Department, initial 4,133 staff, 259 accepted a deferred resignation package. 313 accepted a $25,000 separation payment, and 63 probationary employees were let go. So they're without a job in April. Last month, they were let go of. In addition, 1,315 more people will soon be laid off, leaving a little more than half of the original workforce at 2,183. So when those other people will find out what is going to happen, like I keep saying, those of you that's in education, especially those that's in leadership, the way it works, school will be out in about 3 weeks. Here in the community, in the city where I live, I think school lets out for the summer, May 3rd. Believe it or not, when you serve in those positions, you're closing a year down and you're opening a year up. They're trying to close down for the 2024 school year. On the same token, they're trying to make plans to open up the school for next year. So I said that to say, hopefully, I'm sure as we speak, they're probably sitting around the table in one of those big, nice Oval Office rooms or somewhere in the White House planning, trying to figure the rest of this out. Because I've been trying to figure out, okay, if so more people are going to lose jobs, How are we going to do it? And next time I meet with the president, I'm gonna, ask him this. How hold on. Do I have another response there? Okay, okay. Okay, how are we going to do it since we have to trim some more fat from the cow? Are we still going to have the superintendents maintaining, overseeing the entire system? Are you going to fade them away? Or are you going to say, okay, superintendent, we paid you enough money. You can do it without an assistant. Will the assistants, superintendent, will their job fade away, be no more? Will he take away curriculum directors? Will he take away, since he said that he's turning over the Department of Education of Special Needs, he's going to put that under the umbrella with John F. Kennedy? Is he going to, because now in the school system, we have a special education director. Is he going to fade them away? Is he going to let them reapply and go over to assist? Let some of them go over to assist. John F. Kennedy will oversee in the department. We don't know yet, but the president, I think, he's going to get that. He's going to get that clarified and get it out there to us so that we are able to share. And then if we go to the school level, will he continue to have principals running the schools alone? Will he fade away the jobs of an assistant principal? Is he going to get rid of the school counselors? Will he get rid of the academic coaches? We don't know yet. We don't know who's next. But again, for those of you that's just coming in, of the education department, again, I'll share this data with you again. 4,133 staff accepted. They're like, okay, I'm done. I'll go. They accepted a deferred resignation package. 313 accepted a $25,000 separation payment, and 63, I guess those that were on probation, those employees were let go of, so they walked away empty-handed out, at unemployment office, unemployment line, seeking employment elsewhere. And that was 63, which was not a whole lot. So hopefully they were able to land employment elsewhere. And again, in addition, 1,315 more people will soon be laid off. This is the number right here. This is the number that I'm referring to. When, who are they going to be? This is that fat being trimmed that I've been asking about. Where is the fat going to be trimmed from? Do you think those educators out there, walking on eggshell, like, okay, will it be me? Will it be me? Who will it be? Will it be you? And the question that I just asked, will he start at the top, at district level, at the board office, and say, okay, superintendents, we're not going to continue to pay you all this money? Will he replace the superintendents with maybe directors and call them directors and not superintendent? Will he say, okay, superintendent, since we're trying to trim some fat around here, you won't have an assistant anymore? Okay, let's say he might just say, this is just me throwing this out. This is just my opinion. Well, okay, if your system has under, let's say, 30,000 students, you will not be allowed to. Now, don't go out say that the president said that. This is me just trying to think ahead and figure out where this fat is going to be trimmed. Because keep in mind, in addition, 1,315 more people will soon be laid off. But I mean, like I said, school will be out in 3 weeks. Those of you that's in education, especially those of you that's been in leadership, those principals, those people, superintendents, they're closing this year down. You got to close it down. This year will be over come May 23rd. But on the flip side of that, they do that in the AM part of the day. But guess what? The PM part of the day, they're planning to open that school up again come fall 2025. Because keep in mind, the summers are not as long as they used to be back when I was in school. Summer, we used to be out of school from May. We have May out. When we got out of school in May, we were out the entire month of June and July and part of August. I think we would go back. When I was in school, we didn't return to school till like August 25th. And I hear some people say they didn't go back to school until after Labor Day. Those days are no more. They don't exist anymore. So you have about really a few weeks to inform these 1,000. That's a lot. 1,000 is a lot. I didn't say 100. 1,315 more people that they're going to be laid off. So how fair is that going to be? My thing, go ahead and let the people know. Let me know so I can go ahead and start, trying to seek employment somewhere else. But hopefully that information will be going out, and we don't know research. I mean, the information has not been put out there yet as to whether or not that they're going to be be let go of at the district office level, the school level, or a combination of both. We don't know that yet, so I'm sure that information will be revealed soon. And to answer that question, I had asked if anybody knew which president created the Department of Education, and the virtual prize goes to Z. Adams. It was President Jimmy Carter. And I came back and I asked when, how long ago? Because I think, I was a little girl. I think by the time I got old enough to know about president, government, and that sort of thing, I think maybe Ronald Reagan was the president back then. No, it was not Carter. So, and I asked the question, how long or when? I want to say it was started in 1979. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what I read. But anyway, the Department of Education was created by President Jimmy Carter 45 years ago. So if somebody else asks you that, Z. Adams, you would know. Your response will be 45 years ago. That's almost 5 decades ago. It was, and here 45 years later, they are deciding to undo all of that work that President Jimmy Carter had put into trying to pull this together. So that's the information. And something else that popped up as well. I don't know how many people will hit the replay that's from Georgia. And I did read, it was kind of interesting. And it's just a senator's update. You all know the senator seat in Georgia, 2026, will be up for grabs. They put out that news that Georgia governor, which is Governor Brian Kemp, which is a Republican, will not run for Senate in 2026. That statement had social media buzzing on yesterday. So you know that over in Georgia, the governor over there, Governor Brian Kemp, had expressed interest in a possibility that he might be interested in running. Jon Ossoff, which is a Democrat, his seat will be up in 2026. So from my reading, I gathered that there were 2 Republicans that are going to try to unseat Democratic Senator Jon Ossoff. It was our Governor Brian Kemp, and it was also Marjorie Taylor Greene. She had expressed interest as well. Okay, let me check the chat. Don't want to forget. Let's see what we got over here. And I'm doing good with time. I was hoping I could have delivered and shared the information that I needed to share in 30 to 45 minutes. So we're at 30 minutes. Okay, I learned something new. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Okay. I'm glad that I'm able to share something with you that's beneficial. So I shared that, and also I've already shared that Kemp had been a Republican favorite to take on incumbent Senator Jon Ossoff. Like I said, that's a Democrat from Georgia. Kemp's departure from the race may be a boom for MAGA Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, which is a Republican over in Georgia, who has expressed interest in the Senate seat. So I'm sure there's more to be revealed. We'll just have to wait and see. But those are the updates. Like I said, it popped up yesterday as I was just out getting my research together that Brian Kemp, the Republican governor in Georgia, will not run for the Senate seat. So good people, that's about all of the information that I have, and that's the update from the president as far as that's the latest that's been put out as far as the dismantle of the Department of Education. And I know that I had shared with a couple of the followers up here. We had talked about those numbers and the when and the where and how we're going to go about doing it. So that's really what I want to get my hands on. So it's a open book. Some of you all that had been on and we discussed that. Hopefully you all will get a chance to hear those numbers and what has happened and who has been laid off. And I guess the interesting thing to me is that 1,315 people. And just keep in mind, as I said 4 or 5 times already, the administrators are closing off a year, people. They are trying to end this year with your babies, your grandbabies, nieces and nephews. They'll be home for the summer break in about 3 weeks. In about 3 weeks. And on the flip side of that, I'm telling you what these leaders are doing in the AM part of the day. Like I said, maybe from 6 o'clock a.m., well, 5 o'clock a.m. until about lunchtime, they are trying to close this school out to get ready to send our babies home for the summer. But I promise you, from 12:30 until about 5 o'clock p.m., they are working on trying to open that school up for next year. Mark my word. Mark my word. That's what's going on. So with 1,315 people out there not knowing, will I be allowed on the ship or will I have to get my bags and my suitcase and get off of the ship? That's what I'm waiting for. Where is he going to trim the fat from? Central office or the school level? That's all the information that I have for you on this today. Again, I appreciate those of you that were able to tune in, and I indeed appreciate those of you too that will catch the replay. I guess if nothing else has happened overnight, if the Secretary of Education does not make anybody else upset, especially Senator Elizabeth Warren, and nothing else makes the news, I'm going to shift gears. I deviate every now and then from the dismantle of the Department of Education. I have two other stories, 2 other topics that I would like to share with you all. So it'll be something different tomorrow, like I said, unless something comes fresh off the press. But if you haven't had a chance to check out the teacher appreciation video, I do have a short listed on my channel, and I have something else coming. We have one more appreciation we need to give, and I'm working on my short. I got to get that short released as well. So that is all the information that I have. I had something else I was going to mention, but it slipped my mind. Oh, if you see it, okay, yeah, I just got to figure out how to try to go live on my cell phone. I'm having all kind of issues with that, but I'm going to do my best to try and figure it out. So if you see a button or something saying that I'm going live and you can't get through it, you can't type, because that's what some of the people, they're telling me that's what they're seeing on their end. Just bear with me. I'm just trying to do some troubleshooting to see if I can. And I know it worked because I went live on it. A few days ago, and it did okay. But here lately, I can't get it to do right. So I've only been able to use my desktop. So if you see, like I said, me going on and you can't say anything, or I'm there and not talking to you, that's the reason why I'm just having difficulties with my phone. With that being said, thank you, lovely people. Those of you that stopped by, thank in advance. Those of you that's going to go back and do the replay. Until next time, you continue to have a terrific Tuesday. Enjoy, as Auntie Loretta says, this Taking Off Tuesday. Hopefully everything is going well. Hopefully it will continue to go well. And if it's not going well, hopefully it will get better. That's all for now. And I will chat with you later. Bye for now.